I didn't want to miss the live stream. I think this is probably the latest live stream I've done in a long time. I can't even remember. Yeah, don't I don't remember a live that was this late. It is currently 11:42. Is that what time it is? My laptop's being weird. Yeah. We are in Utah. So yeah, 11:42 Mountain Time. This is going to probably be a very short live. What is going on with my laptop? Hang on. I'm trying to see the chat. I'm having an issue with the chat right now. Yeah, I really was gonna skip. Today was gonna be the day that I was gonna skip. Was not looking forward to this live. I talked about what I'm going through on my Patreon. I don't know if I'm gonna talk more public about it. I'm still processing it, but I wanted to say thank you to everyone who was on the Patreon. Denise was there, and there was a lot of really kind messages that you guys said, including Denise, and I appreciate it. I just wanted to pop in before there's this piece of me that's like I can't miss it. I've been doing these lives for over 2 years now, and I feel like I would beat myself up if I missed this live, but there's also like there's a point where I need to take care of myself. And this was definitely one of those Sundays where I was like, I could totally just skip this one, but I've been doing what what I feel like I need to do for my mental health, which is just all of the actions, right? But it doesn't feel like, I think it's just going to be a slow process for this one. But I just wanted to kind of hop on here and let you guys know. I don't know what my content's going to be looking like on any of my platforms. I'm trying really hard to keep posting, because this is the hard part about this job, is like once you stop posting, then this is my main point of income, my main source of income. And so once I stop posting, then I stop making money, and then my mental health goes down even worse. So I'm trying my best to stay consistent, but I'm just letting you guys know I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm trying to just do as much therapy as possible to process this, but I'm kind of in a space where, I'm gonna be honest, I'm like how do I word this? Losing touch with reality, losing my grip. I just have it's I don't even know how to explain what I am going through, because I don't even know, I'm still processing it. But I want to try really hard to go live tomorrow on Patreon. I have a therapy appointment, and if that, like, I just feel like I'm doing all the things, but I don't feel mentally okay. So that's the part that's a little bit scary. But I think that, so it's like my brain wants to isolate, so that's my initial thing, is like isolate, but I really don't feel like that's the best option for me right now. So I haven't been isolating, and that's also why I'm like pushing myself to do I want to be able to do the Patreon tomorrow. I want to be able to reach out and get the help that I need, rather than just isolate. So but yeah, that's where my life has been. And I do think that it's a weird place to be to, like, after doing so much therapy and self-reflection and research on psychology, and just like being human is so weird, because you can do so much, and then something like this happens, and it's like it all erases, or it feels like it all erases, but it obviously doesn't, because my brain is like, hey, you need to be doing this, 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 and this so that you can help yourself get out of this. Whereas in the past, I would just let myself spell. Like, I think that who I am now is way different than who I used to be, but it's hard to notice. But I have to remind myself, like, there was a time in my life where something traumatic would happen and I would just like wake up, take melatonin, go back to bed, you know? And at least I'm not in that space. At least I'm a little bit better. I haven't done that yet. Let's hope I don't do that. No, I think there's just, in life, there's so many things that there's not a handbook, there's not like a guidebook, there's not, life doesn't come with a rule book of like, oh, this is how you go through this, you know? And everyone handles grief differently, everyone handles trauma differently. So I think that that's the hard part too, is it feels like I don't know how to be human, even though I am human. Denise says, humans are complex. That is why we are fascinating. Yeah. So proud of you. You are showing the real side of trauma, and I appreciate it. I've been in some really dark, low places, but it's always been other people who have helped me get better. Oh, thank you, Monica. And I honestly think that that is why I keep gravitating towards this too, because I'm like, I draw a lot of strength from you guys, and I was thinking about it today, like I'm so grateful that I have you guys and that I can feel like I belong in a community. I think that that's a big part of being human too, is like we all want to feel like we belong, especially when life gets scary. It's so weird though, because it's like it's like I'm fighting myself. Like people are reaching out to me, and like I'm also reaching out to people, but then there's also points where I'm like, I don't want to talk to anyone right now. You know, it's like I'm fighting myself. Like I want to reach out, and then I'm like, no, 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 no. And I'm not fully sure what that is, but even like yeah, it's just not an initial. I think it stems from my childhood of like going to the adults for help usually made things worse. You know, being vulnerable around the adults made things worse for me. You know, when you were raised with parents that are like, quit crying, I'll give you something to cry about. When you were raised in an environment where it was unsafe to be human, it was unsafe to have human feelings, thoughts, and emotions, then you would self-isolate, because that was the solution, you know? So isolation did in fact help you in this case where everyone was attacking, right? And I think I've brought that into my adult life where something like this is happening, and my instinct is to just isolate, because that's how it fixed the issue as a kid. But I'm actively fighting that. I know that it's not genetic to be this way. I think that as humans we do want community, like I was saying, but I think that when you're raised in that kind of a hostile environment, as an adult you have to just actively fight that, because that doesn't help the situation. And isolation in the order, yes, it helped me to not get like bullied as much, and it helps a lot of the kids not to feel bullied as they're wanting to be vulnerable, hide your vulnerabilities. But it doesn't necessarily solve the issue, because then you feel more and more alone. And I did definitely, in the order, I was definitely contemplating my life, right? I'm so happy to see your face, even if life's hard right now. Your voice and face is a soul soother. Oh, I don't know why that makes me want to cry. It makes me happy to know that I can be a positive in other people's lives, especially because you guys are such a positive in my life. Isolation is a coping mechanism, usually in a stage of healing. Approaching it, you're not alone. Yeah, I definitely feel like there's points where, because I don't like to cry in front of people, so I think that's the biggest reason why I feel like I feel this, like I need to be alone for, like my brain's like, let's be alone for 3 days straight or longer. But I don't know if that's necessarily healthy. Trauma response protects you until you don't need it anymore, and then it's holding you back. Yep. So true. You need social support sometimes. And that's exactly what like people in my life have been saying, like, you're not being alone right now. Are you being alone? And I'm like, no, I'm not, even though I kind of want to be. Yeah, I think that there's a time of self-reflection too when you're alone, but I think right now what I'm going through is I do think that I've been getting caught in my own thoughts and spiraling with them. So I don't know. I wish I could verbalize what exactly it is. It's kind of like when you think too, is it critical thinking or is it criticizing? Or is it being too analytical? Overthinking, that's what it is. It's just overthinking a topic because there's no real like answer. So you're just overthinking it until you start to feel like you're going into a psychosis. That's how it feels. So I don't know. Sometimes it feels like I'm I hate saying losing touch with reality, but it's like being outside of your body in a way. I don't know. Maybe I'll have more answers when I go to more therapy. But right now I don't have. I just know what it feels like, but I don't know. I can't give a psychological term of what it is that is happening. I will say it is a little bit scary because it's reminding me of a time in my life where I didn't know what was happening and I wasn't aware. At least right now I'm aware. But it's very similar to this time in my life where I didn't know what was happening and it was a very rapid decline. And then I realized when it was too late, when the damage had been done. You know what I mean? So I guess that's good. That I've noticed myself do that a lot in life where I reach a fork in the road and this is the healthy and this is the unhealthy path. And in the past, it's like you go down the unhealthy path and then you realize that it was unhealthy. Once you got to the end, you're like, oh, yeah, I should have taken that path. And then you kind of have to crawl back out and then go to the healthy route. And then there's been times where, and I've told my therapist this, like, I know which one's healthy and I know which one's unhealthy, and I'm choosing to go on the unhealthy route. I don't know why, but I want to go on the unhealthy route and I'm going to have to do it. Learn my lesson. So there's those different phases, right, where you unknowingly are going on the unhealthy route, and then you knowingly go on the unhealthy route, and then you knowingly choose to go to the healthy route. Or sometimes I feel like I stay in limbo. I'm like, I don't know. I don't want to do the work to go to the healthy side, but I also don't want the damage of the unhealthy side. This is a very complicated situation. I was thinking about this today too, where there is a kind of a glorified settling I've noticed, and maybe not all over the world, maybe not even in very many people actually, maybe it's just the people I've seen. A lot of people that I've seen glorify settling. Like, oh, you should settle down, oh, you're getting to the age where you need to settle. The word settle is used so much to be like, well, you don't want to fail, so just settle here. Or almost like the work of growing and seeking and learning, like, is a lot, so you're okay with settling because there's some sense of peace that people find in settling, because going up this way seems like too much, almost not even like that they don't want to progress, but that they don't want to fail, so they stay here because they're afraid of failing. That's how it feels sometimes when there's people like glorifying the settled. You should just settle. You should just hurry up and do this and settle. And well, you made it this far, so just, cap it. And on this topic, I think that people have a fear of, including me, have a fear of living a life that they don't think is worth living, like living an entire life that they aren't proud of. There's that fear. And so people would choose to just, you know what, maybe this is a conversation for Patreon, actually. I'm just realizing. But I am glad I showed up today. I'm glad to see all of you guys. Why are you still awake? Some of you guys are on the East Coast. What are you doing? It's like 1 in the morning over there. 2. I think this live is a sign for me. I was just here in my thoughts, feelings like I need to force myself to go out and do things other than just going to work and home. You know what? If this live can be a positive sign for you to do something that's positive for your life, then it is a sign. If you think it will be healthy for you. Oh, hi Hannah. Hi Clive. All right, maybe we'll continue this tomorrow because I do feel like I have a lot of thoughts, but they're very they might be a little too scary for YouTube. They might be just Patreon thoughts. Because I try to keep the YouTube a little more PG, a little less scary, nightmare, freaky deaky. Have you tried meditation? I did. I think I went through a phase of like hating meditation because I left the order, right, and they used meditation for cultish behavior. So I went through a phase of like no. And then I went through a phase of like really like freaking liking it. Like I would get up at 6 in the morning and meditate for an hour. And then 5 in the morning because I liked it so much, and because it was like a way to manifest, and I was like I started to be culty with it again. But I do believe in, binaural beats before bed. If you've ever listened to binaural beats on YouTube, you set intentions with it. You can look up any intention on YouTube and be like binaural beats manifesting money, binaural beats manifesting health, and then it'll bring you the wavelength. I don't know how it works or if they're just saying that. But even if it is just saying that, putting that in your intention before bed and sleeping with that, if you do it every night, you do start to see progress coming from someone who did it. All right, I'm gonna go. I made it, and that is my win for the day. High five, Amanda. It's good to see all of you. I hope that you are having a great Sunday, or probably Monday for some of you guys. Still Sunday here. Thank you for joining the Culty Cup of Coffee, and I will see you tomorrow if you're a part of the Patreon fam. Hopefully tomorrow. If not, you'll get a message from me. And hopefully you guys have a great rest of your week. Thank you for all the love and support. I appreciate you guys. Bye. Thank you. Bye, Casey. Bye, Mark. Bye, Supernova. Bye, AJ. Bye, MM. Bye, Monica. Bye, Gwen. Bye, Kelly. Bye, Tyrus. Bye, Denise. Bye, Hannah. Bye, Emily. Okay, bye. Bye, bye, bye.